Alright everyone, game number 1, washed out against Granit Gaming. We are back with Meta Madness and it's going to be wild today. We're in the lower bracket right now and the winner of this series goes to the next round of the tournament. The loser is out. And of course with Meta Madness, again, if you haven't really watched anything yet, we have 11 heroes that are pre-banned completely from the tournament, can't be chosen. And the rules also say that every single hero that gets banned in the best of 5 gets banned for the entire best of 5, not only for a map. So on the last map, if it comes to map number 5, we would actually end up with 41 heroes banned out. There is an Excel sheet that I'm also going to link in the description on YouTube, just so that you guys can keep up with whoever is getting banned here. The players are using that as well, just to stay a little bit on point here, because as you can imagine, at some point it becomes a little bit chaotic to realize, okay, which hero is still allowed, which hero is still in, what can we pick, what's left here. And it forces the teams to just think a little bit out of the box here and do go into different compositions that they usually wouldn't play. Now keep in mind, this is not really designed to just completely make this or turn this into a clown fiesta, but it's still something where the idea obviously is to just tell the teams, listen, you have to branch out there a little bit and play around that. And that's exactly what we've seen so far in every single one of these games. And we already see a couple of adjustments here as we head into Battlefield of Eternity. Now first of all, when you're looking over to Granit Gaming, they're banning out Samuro and Rexa. And if you paid actually attention to the last couple of days and also to Division S, you probably know by now why that is. Now, Washed Out is a mixed team. The normal name is Washed Up, but a couple of the players can't make it this weekend, so they were allowed to play with a couple of substitute players, and they picked players mainly from the former Coming Through team, and that includes Kronos and Monkey. Monkey is known for all these crazy picks and to play with Samuro and to play also with Rexa a lot, so that explains the two bans that we're seeing here, just from the get-go saying, okay, at no point in this series are you gonna play those two heroes, and that's definitely going to limit them quite a bit. That being said, Hazu immediately going into the Reyna first pick. We're seeing on the other hand Li Ming and Ana taken for Tai on the side of Granit Gaming, and especially that nano boost on Li Ming is going to be pretty great. Billy going in the Meridian here, and we have Smexy with Malfurion. Keep in mind that in the 11 bans, 11 heroes that were pre-banned, they are actually separately listed also in the sheet that I mentioned earlier that is linked, so you can check out which ones they were. But there was a pretty heavy focus on tanks. So Nubarak is banned out completely for the tournament, Diablo, Garrosh are another two. And that starts to limit that frontline hero pool quite a bit. We actually had one of the previous series go to game 5 and there were pretty much no tanks left, which brought us into an Uther double support main tank, a Urel main tank and other shenanigans like that. Talking about Urel, we actually have her banned out on the next spot, and that leaves one ban for our first game. And that will make then up 17 bans in total. So we have seen a lot of adjustment here already for the map, because Turanda is completely banned for the tournament, Hanzo is completely banned for the tournament, and that obviously is already including a huge amount of the heroes that are normally fantastic on Battlefield of Eternity. Now ETC gets also taken away. The reason for that being pretty simple actually. Lauber is very, very good on ETC. It's one of his main go-to heroes. So now we're having another tank banned out. And ETC is good on Battlefield of Eternity too, trying to control the space around the Immortal stun. So that's another very important aspect of this entire thing. So yeah, heading into this, we're already getting a few heroes out of the way. And again, it's just Imperius being played. I love this. Imperius yesterday, the hate was real. Imperius was banned in every single game, it felt. And now we're having Zarya in a game number 1 as well. Now we actually seen some Zarya and Garrosh combos, where especially the level 4 talent on Zarya can speed up Garrosh and allow a lot of plays to be made. Curious to see if this is a little bit the reasoning behind it too, to work with that extra speed here. Getting Imperius into the game for Lauber should be a lot of fun and actually really good to watch. So I'm already hyped about this. And yeah, let's see exactly how that's gonna work. And yeah, not quite. Turanda is definitely a bit of a mispick here, and I think we're going to have them change that in just a second and realize it too. Now again, you're not immediately disqualified anything if you misclick at some point, if you pick a hero that is actually banned out, but obviously it will either have to be a redraft or you just have to announce in the lobby later on, okay, sorry, our bad, we changed the hero here. Again, it gets chaotic at some point, but that Tyrande is definitely not going to be played. So I assume that they're just going to make their pick. Thrall is taken on the last point, and that brings us into game number 1 after we see the Tyrande replacement. Game number 1 in the best of 5. Washed out against Granit Gaming, and on the left we have the blue team with Smexy on Malfurion, Monkey on Leoric, Hazops on Reyna, Billy on Muradin, and Kronas on Jaina. So the Tyrande pick was a misclick. They immediately announced it in the lobby. They wanted to pick Jaina for Kronas here. And as I already mentioned, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Game starts as it should. Didn't even have to redraft since it was happening on the latest or the last pick for them. Lauber finds himself for Granit Gaming on Imperius. We're seeing Tai on Liming, Svampgarota on Zarya, Fury on Thrall, and Skynox subbing in here today on Atna. And already a little bit of a battle down here at the bottom as the skirmish continues. So we have the 4-man on the bot lane, and all the way up to the top, our 2 offlaners are pretty much just waiting for everyone to appear on the map before they're making their move into the middle of the lane. Want to make sure that they're not going to get ganked early on in this match and end up as the first blood. So with that said, obviously we're going to see Lauber try and get that lunge in so that he can just simply drop someone. I'm actually a bit curious to see what exactly his level 10 choice is going to be, because oftentimes we're seeing Wrath taken for Imperius as the heroic ability, but for that to really come into effect, you kind of want to have a follow-up stun afterwards, and they don't really have a lot. They have at least on Thrall's side some value that they can get out of the Frostwolf, for example, but I don't really think that that is going to be enough for kills. So there's a legit chance that they're actually going to switch it up for him and go into the extra survivability. The build on Imperius is, as you would expect, going for Burn the Impure. So going straight into trade on level 4 as well, and then we're going to very likely see the AoE picked on level 7. Pretty standard established build on Imperius these days, at least on the higher level. We're having also Echo of Elements taken for Thrall, who's currently battling it out at the top side with Leoric, trying to get his stacks together for the quest. Down here, Billy stacking the Storm Bolts. 5 so far already. Outside of him getting kills as a follow-up after a Storm Bolt, he's actually doing fairly well with that. So let's see how that's going to work out for them. As we're having Exterminator, by the way, as the choice on Jimmy. Interesting, even with all the slows that we're seeing here. Smexy is a little bit far out there. They're trying to get the kill, and they don't get it. Instead, it's actually Lauber that falls. Smexy with simply 50 HP walking away, but he was in a world of pain and trouble there and actually gets away. Tai was trying to get a sneak kill in here from the side, but Smexy, of course, well experienced, moved straight to the top and made sure that there was no angle where he could be hit. Really, really well done here. That was insane, honestly. And Lauber falling. Very unfortunate for Granit Gaming, but the first blood now. Washed out takes it. They have the level 4 talents too. And we're having the Sledgehammer. Good stacking process on Muradin. Sledgehammer as well, so we're going to see a lot of damage against Structure and the Immortal at the cost of survivability for Muradin, since he won't have the synergy with the level 13 talent. But you can already tell that they actually have... Ooh, oh, he was at 5 hit points, I think, at some point, and then just moved away there. But Jimmy still gets the kill, and that's Lauber now dying already twice. Not the start in the game that he envisioned. In the meantime, Billy is going for more and more Storm Bolts. Look at this bad boy. He's sitting at 13 on the baseline. 10 already before the first Immortal even came down onto the map before this starts. Billy is just stacking like a madman on this. And that Storm Bolt is already hurting, and we're only 3 minutes into the game. This is actually a bit nuts, to be honest with you. Also, look at Zarya here, sitting at 22 stacks on the level 1. The Exterminator for Jimmy, of course, also a super interesting choice, and just showcases that they want to race down these Immortals. It's a really interesting choice if you consider what they have here. They have slows through Jaina, they have the roots from Malfurion, they have the slow through Leoric. That's a lot where you can proc the ace in the hole, but they're not even thinking about that. They're just going full objective at this point. Super interesting setup here for Washed Out with the combo that they're playing. Frostwolf pack taken for Thrall, trying to get those stacks together. Connects it again, sitting at 2 now. 15 stacks for the baseline on Muradin, and Billy and his boys are getting the Immortal. And a big one at that. Look at that shield. Without any kills so far, Granit Gaming has a bit of a problem there. They go into the extra speed with the speed barrier. That definitely is going to help, especially Lauber with the engagers and the attempt to hit a quick lunge. Now trying to go for Billy here and zoning him out, a little bit of early damage against him. Now there's the connect. The problem is there's nobody there to help out with it. But Svamkorotta still going for the speed. I don't know, the bot lane. Need to defend against that. Level 7 talents, of course, making things a lot harder too, because Washed Out is pushing heavily with this. Granted, it's only the first Immortal, but this is starting to hurt already quite a bit. Great start into the series by Washed Out. They're doing well here. And well, once again, trying to drop that fort, but so far they can't. So you actually got to give some credit to Granit Gaming too. If you have such a huge Immortal and a level 7 talent advantage early on in the game, there's a legit chance that you will get that fort. But Granit Gaming just stood their ground, said no, defended well, but were able to deny that. Again, no dominance for Tai. Likes to play with his charge blast. He's getting that too. Lauber again, attack, but nice! Good double lunge by him. Smacks low, and this time he's down, and he's not the only one. Kronos falls too. They try to make the play for Hazorbs, but after the double kill, the rest of the team is able to walk away. Quest completed also for Svamkorotta on his Zarya as he gets the hits in. The quest on Thrall, by the way, was not completed. It got reset after he missed one of his wolves. 20 stacks already for Muradin. Damn, son. And 17 on the baseline. The discrepancy, of course, between the level 1 talent and the baseline talent comes from the added bonus that you get when a target that you stun gets killed shortly after. There's always a little bit confusion around that. Level 7 talent here with the pinpoint accuracy. And Zarya so far has been doing really well. But you can tell that this setup with Lauber getting the extra speed really helps him to connect these lunges, and then the follow-up, of course, needs to be there. It's going to be interesting when Thrall joins the 5 versus 5 fights, because he has the best lockdown outside of Lauber in this game so far. On their side, at least, that is. So we'll see how that works out. In terms of damage output, by the way, 14,000 on Liming. If you take a quick look at Zarya, she's currently sitting at 10k here too. So pretty solid damage from here. Lauber himself with 12,000 on Imperius. So the entire setup with 2 kills against 2 is actually pretty solid. Muradin has in the meantime transitioned up to the top lane. They're going to try and take Fury down. But normally what you would expect is Granit Gaming actually telling them, okay, listen, we don't see Muradin anymore. And Fury is already playing it very, very safe because he wants to be careful because of exactly that. Jimmy is sitting at 10,000. Keep in mind that he is also missing out on a bit of extra damage because of the level 1 talent choice. But it's going to help him with the siege damage for sure. And there's again the quick race on the Immortal itself. Level 10 is going to drop a bit sooner for the blue team. Sorry, for the red team. Talking red team. Nice connect with Billy. And that's the end of him. Tai says thank you very much. Is it my birthday already? And connects right after we see Imperius locking down Muradin with a great combo. And that's just all the damage output that you need there. Taina already starting here. Lauber again starting to run out of mana, by the way. He's trying to threaten Smexy at this point. And level 10 abilities are there for both of them. And we actually see the Wrath of Anguirus taken anyway. Even though they only have the lockdown of Thrall afterwards. Well, they have the Earthquake too. I'm going to try and play around that. 3 stacks on the Frostwolf pack on level 4. Halftime show. Pretty much dead even at this point. Well, it's gonna be a spicy one. Billy again with the stacks. Starting to get closer and closer to completing the baseline, which of course is going to help him to stack his level 1 even further. That's going to increase the damage there in the long run with a sledgehammer. Against structures too. Against Immortals is already fantastic, but just imagine him just hammering those towers into the ground with a quick Stormbolt later on in the game. If it comes to that, if we get that late game. Also with the level 10 abilities here. We're currently seeing, they're seeing the engage again. And Tomb comes out. Lauber in a bit of trouble. The damage is in. And they're trying to get the kill. Lauber gets away. 180 hit points at some point. But he is able to get away with Ana dropping the heals and the shields from Zarya also coming through. Again, the big poke here coming from the side as Tai is looking for the angle to drop one salvo after another. And they are starting to chunk that down slowly and steadily around the Immortal stuns. Good setup here for the team in red. Stormbolt quest completed. Nice job by Sport Billy. 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Very, very good job by him. 22 stacks now on the level 1. It's going to be great for him. Hops out, tries to go for a Thrall, and they're making the play here. They're trying to drop the damage. Fury is low and needs to get away. Wrath of Anguirus, on the other hand, delivers more Fury into the hands of Tai, and Tai is not hesitating. Got the nano boost from Ana as well, and just absolutely murders the support here. Job well done, and now Granit Gaming with a full 4 straight for the Immortal, and they win number 2. They lost the first one, but they take the second. Quest for Thrall also completed. And now we're starting to see 4 heroes again rotate towards the top as Thrall is heading all alone down to the bottom of the map to catch the experience there. Great setup for Granit Gaming, really good fight, and especially the engage that we saw from Lauber to drop Smexy into Tai's hands. That was probably the setup that changed it all there. Of course, from Grotta in the meantime, still with decent damage output, sitting at 18,000 himself, Thrall on 17k. Here comes the setup again. They're going in for Azovs. They don't quite get him. The ult of Zarya's already dropped. Billy's a little bit low, but he puts Lauber into a really bad spot, and that's the end of Imperius. Another quick tomb follows it as they're making the play for Zarya, and that's kill number 2. I like this. Great game. Washed out against Granit Gaming, and we have already a big one on our hands here. Good defense, of course, in the 5 versus 4, despite the Immortal. Bit of a trap that they set up here for a second. Leo moved down to the bottom of the map to catch the experience. Save the fort for now. But yeah, it's a good one. Bottom fort has been eliminated earlier. Washed out was able to take one of the structures down. So from a structural perspective, we still see Granit Gaming slightly behind. But we have a pretty fun game on our hands here. Look at Muradin, by the way, 29. So at this point, that means that he already has 150 extra damage on the Storm Bolts, and then you have plus 350 damage, 2 structures and 2 Immortals, thanks to the level 7. Oh, the delivery! And the kill. Fury dies too, but they eliminate Muradin. Great job here. They get the kill against Billy again, and now of course they're trying to make the next play. Already the speed on Lauber as he gets those shields, but he also gets a lot of damage as we're seeing Jimmy and Jaina both focus on him, and that's the end of Lauber. 2-for-1 trade in favor of Washed Out as they get the kill. Bot lane pressure still with the camp that was taken a little bit earlier. There's a catapult that also is in the mix at this point. It looks good here. This is exactly the kind of game that I wanted to have for the first round, and keep in mind, this is the lower bracket. If you lose here, you are out of the tournament. The team that loses this series will be eliminated from Meta Madness, and we're only in game number 1. The Zarya setup is pretty good, but the problem that they currently have is that with all the focus that we're seeing from Washed Out, Lauber is very, very squishy. He has a tough time staying alive whenever he's focused this heavily. And now they're going to try. The 2 tanks meet again. Billy moves out, has 30 stacks by now. His siege damage is something that we're definitely going to keep an eye on as the game continues. He's currently sitting at only 8,000. I guess like the siege damage of him is not going to be too big. It's more so the on-point damage that he can do with every cooldown in those setups. Oh, Lauber with the ult attempt here. Didn't work out for him. The Entomb also misses, gets immediately cancelled, and the fight is still ongoing as we see Fury dropping low. Skynox is dropping the heals with Ana the entire time. Lauber with another lunge that doesn't connect, but we see Tai reliably poke from the distance against the Immortal here, trying to drop the team low. Liming a fantastic hero, not only in his hands, but also for the battleground, exactly for these situations. The setup and the kill. Down goes Leo. Quick kill against him. No chance whatsoever. Monkey gets dropped, and they make the plays again. Double stun from Sport Billy as he's sitting at 34 right now. He's getting those Storm Bolts in, but he's also starting to drop really low. Again, Tai with the attempt to drop him back in, using the wave for force here, but Billy was already a bit too far out. Leo's coming back in a moment, but they lost the halftime show. Granit Gaming is starting to take the lead again, on the Immortal at least. When it comes to experience, there's still a slight advantage, nearly level actually, for Washed Out. And they're taking the defensive position again. Level 13 with its healing static still. They're trying to go, oh, Zarya. There's the Entomb. Zarya tries to use her own ult, but that's going to be the end of Swamp Grotta. He goes down, Zarya dead. Great rotation. Great call by Washed Out. Really, really nice rotation. And, well, Zarya just didn't see that coming. Good kill right there. 35 kill stacks by now on Muradin's side. Good damage output from him. Really good damage output. And again, the on point is absolutely great for them as they're going for structures later on too. And of course for the Immortal. And they're starting to win this one. Zarya's going to be back in another 7, but that little turnaround with a drop against Zarya was a big one. Lauber himself lunges away. Good sleep dart also against Monkey. Water Elemental is in. They're still trying to make the play for the Immortal. Main focus is on that. They're not going for the fight. They're just trying to win the objective here. And with Hazorbs running Exterminate on level 1, he has the damage output that they need. Billy is low though. Tries to jump away. And here's the delivery. Well, is it? Yep, there's the kill. Once again, Tai follows it up. Tai, for me personally, I mean, again, I'm fanboying here a little bit, but for me personally, Tai is the big discovery of the Nexus games. When Tai play in the Nexus games, we had a lot of fantastic games, we had a lot of fantastic players, we had a lot of players and teams that people might not have expected to do this extremely well. But definitely one of the big surprises was the damage player from the UK, and Tai on Tracer and on heroes like Li Ming made an absolute name for himself, and then shortly after joined Granit Gaming. And that is just gigantic. That guy definitely had potential to eventually end up in HGC in 2018. So, yeah, really, really well done. In the meantime, though, the Immortal is being fought over as Leoric is dead. We are still seeing a very easy defense here by Granit Gaming. So this is looking pretty good. I actually like this. We're 15 minutes in and we don't have a fort. Well, we don't have a keep taken on. We have at the same time 1 fort down on the side of Washed Out, another one pretty low, but a lot of kills coming in. 7 against 8 so far already. Alpha Wolf is now in play, and they're making the play for Lauber again. Barely dashes out. Gets a lunge out. Skynox still with the heals here the entire time. Drops one after another. Survivability for Muradin, by the way, has been increased too, as he now has Stone Form available for himself. Pain Rat for Jimmy. And Washed Out is, I mean, they are behind in kills right now, but they are still a little bit ahead in experience, and I think that they are slowly and steadily really starting to be the ones that initiate most of these fights on the map. Talking about initiation, Monkey wants to go for the Entomb, has to wait for the rest of the team though. Gets the Entomb, connects it, and now we just have to see the rest of them joining in time, and they just don't. They're a bit too late. They attempt to go for Leo as he moves out. That was a nice attempt. Again, with Leoric, you have a low cooldown. It's only 40 seconds on the Entomb, so you can throw that out a little bit more freely than other heroic abilities that sit much higher. So with the Immortal not even being announced, it was a fair try. And they baited out Earthquake. So that's a pretty good setup here. So that a huge cooldown just had to be burned, so definitely a positive trade for Washed Out. Immortal gets announced again. I'm seeing the camps taken so far. Top side has to be defended. At the bottom, the play for Fury, and he gets out. Well, Fury in here. Trying to make that play. Has the level 4 with the deep roots, as you could see there. Water Elemental has also been burned and gets now taken out. But they have the early access to the Immortal itself, and they're already trying to use that. Billy with another good Stormbolt, sitting at 40 stacks now. That's 200 extra damage on the Stormbolt, not even accounting for Sledgehammer value. Yeah, the lunge against Monkey though, and Monkey goes down. Monkey, Murky, Pish, Posh, Tomato, Tomato. Pretty much the same thing on this hero. So, yep. Gets the trade value here. Yeah, top side is still pushing, but we are now also seeing Washed Out taking their own Shaman camp. So top side is eventually, they have to deal with that eventually, you know. If you won't lose a hero, we said it before, Leo is always the one to trade, because he spawns on point again. Up here, Tai is already trying to get the damage in. The volleyball Li Ming. The rest of the team is defending. And they're starting to go straight in for this one again. Nearly the halftime show here. 5 versus 5 now, but Jaina had to go up to the top lane to deal with this. Didn't take down the catapult on the other hand. That's a bit of an issue. At the bottom of the map we see a similar picture as the Shamans had to be dealt with, and Granit Gaming did exactly that. Yeah, halftime show is won. Billy actually doing that with a Stormbolt, as we said before. Connecting the damage there. And able to drop that thanks to the Sledgehammer. 40,000 damage on Jaina, 49k. On the side of Tai. And still Lauber with a lot of damage himself as well. There comes the combo against Billy. Avatar popped and immediately also the Zarya ult. Didn't really help them though. And Tomb is missing on the other hand. Monkey saw an opening. Tried to take it but couldn't quite connect it there. A lot of cooldowns already being used here, but we still have Wrath available. Thrall has Earthquake back. Trying to get the damage in slowly and steadily, and they're burning it down, and this Immortal is losing a lot of hit points really quickly. At this point, washed out, they need to have an engage. They have used a lot of the ults though, and can't really do a whole lot here. They're looking for an angle, they're looking for Fury. They can't find Thrall. They get the Stormbolt set up against Lauber and drop the damage, but only a bit of it connects, and the entire time we have Ana in the backline, keeping the front alive. They are really low here, and the pokes continue. Stormbolt after Stormbolt comes through from Billy on the other hand. 48 stacks for him by now. Here comes the delivery again. Tai wants to kill, and they get it once again. Li Ming and Smexy in trouble now too. He's down. They try to turn it around against Monkey, and that's kill number 3. He's down. Svampgrota barely survives as Hazops wants to take him on, but now he himself might be in trouble here. The same goes for Kronos, as both of the damage dealers are absolutely isolated on the map here. Kronos is on the run. We see Hazops trying to at least get a few of those hit points low, and he's actually doing a lot of damage here, but it will still be a victory on the Immortal for Granit Gaming. Nice juke from Hazops, not having any of that shit. Well done by him. Lauber is not able to get the kill, but they are now with another Immortal on the map here, and both of the teams are closing in on Storm Talons. Looking good there. Let's take another quick look also at the damage output. 29,000 on Muradin. Higher than Leo, by the way. 4 deaths on the other hand on both of the frontliners, and that shows you pretty much how dangerous it is whenever the ult of Lauber is being dropped here. 63,000 by Li Ming, who's quite thankful for all the attention that she gets, thanks to all those targets being delivered without charge. The Banshee's still scouting everything out and seeing what's happening over there. Immortal is already in melee mode. They might not even get the keep. They honestly might not even get the keep, and look at this. Leo at the top side is actually escorting those catapults in. He's now going back maybe a bit late, but that's going to be a lot of value there too. 20 on both sides is dropping into their hands. Leo is back, and the keep is not down. We're 20 more minutes in on Battlefield of Eternity, and the game is by no means over. We haven't seen a keep destroyed. Top lane on Granit Gaming side is suffering though, and might actually fall. There's another minion wave that spawns and is trying to take them out, but that keep is low. One catapult down, might get the second one too, but that is a lot of pain on those structures. Kronos is low again, Tranquility already used. Lauber misses the launch, but they're getting the play against Tai. Li Ming survives, Lauber on the run. Earthquake comes in, the heals from Ana. Everyone still alive. Massive, massive fight, and not a single death. Monkey still looking, trying to slow them down, getting the connect there. Top keep has survived, by the way. And once again, 7 kills against 12, and things are getting real spicy here. That next Immortal is going to be an absolute monster. 22 minutes into the first map on Battlefield of Eternity, and it is pretty much dead even at this point. 53 stacks, by the way, on Muradin. 53. More than 250 extra damage on the Stormbolt, and it really starts to show. 34,000 damage by Muradin, and obviously to structures and Immortals, his Stormbolts are doing an insane amount of damage right now. Yeah, another double Stormbolt, a little bit more damage in. He is getting the numbers up. There's the Entomb Monkey. Oh, he's down. Leoric is dead. Should be back soon for the Immortal, but still hurts a little bit. Bottom lane also hurts a lot. That one nearly fell. So now we are still, despite the kill against Leorgi, we're actually seeing them in a position where they can defend quite nicely until he's going to be back to business, because Thrall had to deal with the bottom of the map. At the top lane, we're still seeing Jaina do the same thing with the Shaman camp that was just now taken by Granit Gaming. Leoric is going to be back soon for the next fight here. Look at Billy. Billy is murdering this thing, by the way. Thanks to the Stormbolt, he's really delivering here. But in comes the damage output, and the halftime show should be won right here. Got too much. Billy finally misses the Stormbolt. I haven't seen that in a long time there. Oh, well. We now have the halftime show as we have Leoric back on the map. Again, the little standoff here. It continues. Tal Rashas on level 20 for Li Ming, trying to rotate through here. Also the unyielding defender. With Earth and Shield taken for Thrall. This is gonna be the big one. I mean, seriously, at this point, who wins this Immortal has a very good chance of winning the entire game. And with a halftime show already going to Granit Gaming, They got pretty much the best setup for the time being. There's not enough catapult pressure on the maps right now to give you a huge advantage. There's a bit of a wave building up topside, but that should be defended soon. Trying to at least take down the Banshee. Couldn't really make that happen yet. And everybody's just looking for the engage. Khaldor is AFK. Okay, that is. Moves again. But yeah, they're looking for the Entomb, they're looking for the Stormbolt, they're looking for Lauber's ult, for Lauber's lunge, for anything that they can do. The Banshee is being used the entire time to scout the angles, scout the corner, scout the sides of the fight. And it's just poking again. Look at that setup. They're just daring Tai on his Liming to come a little bit closer to land a combo here. But they of course know that this is going to be a really crucial objective. And they're still trying to get some extra damage out, especially when we're looking towards Svamgrota. He's just shooting those grenades one after another. Once again, here comes the damage. Whenever they're in range, they're dropping the spells on the Immortal. Banshee is an absolute nuisance right now. The entire time sitting at the side here and starting to poke whenever they want to go for it. Khaldor just moves it back. It's like super annoying. Yeah, Billy is starting to make a bit of a play. Okay, gets another Stormbolt delivered here. This time the Banshee doesn't make it though. Khaldor ups. Actually screwing this up for a second. This is a big one on the other hand. Double catapults at the bot side. That keep is going to have a problem. Come the chain lightnings as well. And the bottom keep is soon going to fall. It's a problem. That's a big problem for Washed Out. Washed Out is starting to lose some control of the map if they stay like this. Yep, that keep is going to fall. Catapults at this point. Oh, catapult at this point are super, super strong. And that's the kill. Well, that's the Entomb there. Not the kill just yet, but Billy is already in trouble. Bottom keep has now fallen. So now the continuous catapults are spawning, and that could be the end of Muradin. He goes down just as Tai delivers the kill again with a quick combo. Lauber with the lunge, Lauber with the ult, and the double kill. Both of the frontliners are already dead, and this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a lot. They're trying to go for more. Tranquility has been baited out. Smexy still able to stay alive for the time being. Good juke here. Counter kill attempt. Ooh, and they get damage. Look at Azu. He wants Tai, and he doesn't get it. Malfurion, in the meantime, is dead. Tai blinks away again, drops the Banshee, and gets healed once more by Ana as the Arya drops the shield. Great setup here. Good kill against Malf. And Tai able to dodge out on Khaldor. And now, of course, the Immortal is going to be at 100%. Well, not quite. Let's make that 90. But this is still a big one. 26 minutes into the game, that Immortal is an absolute beast. That guy doesn't hit like a truck. That guy picks the truck up and hits the keep with the truck itself. That's how that thing is going to work out for them. Not only do the catapults an insane amount of damage this late in the game with the Winions, but the Immortal, that's a whole different story here. Seriously, like, if you think a catapult does damage, wait until that thing starts shooting at the structures. With this being said, let's take a quick look over here at the damage output. 92,000 on the side of Liming. Look at Imperius, by the way, 64k. Zarya on 66 right now. Jaina still with 77, but oh boy, that damage output. Immortal just moves in. Pretty much one-shots the fountain here already outside of the shield. 65 stacks on Muradin, just saying. And they're trying to defend here. They still have a lot of good tools, by the way, with Muradin, Stormbolt. They're trying to hammer that Immortal down. Can they actually defend this? I mean, not the keep, obviously, but they might be able to save the core for now. That would be insane. 27 minutes in. Billy in trouble. Billy in a lot of trouble, but jumps out. Leorki sacrificing himself here. But then Immortal is going to be fired down with Exterminator on level 1. And Billy with all of those extra stacks and the Sledgehammer. They're actually taking the Immortal down. It's a 5 versus 4 defense at this point. They might still hold. You gotta be kidding me. 28 minutes in. Oh, but Hazu is dead and the core is falling as Malfurion dies. Sport Billy barely jumps out, but with only 2 heroes left, they won't be able to do anything here. Game number 1 ends in favor of Granit Gaming as they take the lead here in Battlefield of Eternity. GG, well played. Game on, everybody. This game nearly didn't take place. Laura was memeing me, so I always like claim that people shouldn't ask in the lobby if the casters are ready, because it's the caster's job to be ready. And Lauber, of course, knows that very well, so intentionally he came in and said, like, so Khaldor, are you ready? And I'm like, I hate you. He's like, I'm not pressing start until you apologize. Okay, so this game nearly didn't take place, but yeah, I then apologized for being too handsome for this. But yeah, so we are obviously in the game, so the memes are strong with this one. And we're going to look at the next set of bans here as we're heading into map number 2. Now, game number 1 was pretty awesome. If you give me 5 games of that, I'm going to be a happy panda. It was a lot of fun there. We're having Infernal Shrines now as our second map, and we're currently seeing, of course, Granit Gaming in the lead here for the performance that they just showed. Ana gets banned out. Alright, no more Ana for Skynox. With that said, let's see what's happening on the other side. I would still expect that we're going to see Liming banned eventually too. Liming, Jaina are usually 2 big candidates for being banned out early on. Maybe not banning Liming on this map particularly, but I would be kind of shocked if she makes it too deep into a best of 5. A hero that we haven't seen on the first map is actually Junkrat. Junkrat has been a hero that's been played a lot in Meta Madness, because it feels like it's a hero that is really, really good, but there's a lot of other heroes that the teams respect more when it comes to bans. So Junkrat usually makes it into the later rounds too. Normally a lot of the madness just starts on level 4, on map 4 and map 5. But I mean, we've had a Zarya composition already here, with some interesting talent choices too. And here comes the ban against Malfurion. Alright, taking that out. Now again, I want to highlight that we actually have a mixed team here on the side of Washed Out. That's why they also have that slight name adjustment. So Eternal, Mene and JPL, they couldn't make it this weekend. Hazob and Smexy, they really wanted to play though. And they were obviously allowed to get a couple of subs in. They got players from coming through, and that's why they're now playing here with Kronos, Murky, and they also got Billy, who in the past already subbed for the team. There's now the ban on Jaina. Alright, so that was already about to be expected. Doesn't really shock anybody, I think, especially on Infernal Shrines. She gets still a lot of value. On the first map, she was already a huge factor. It's interesting that Jimmy is actually still around. In most of the series previously, focus that we had was Imperius was oftentimes banned out early on. We had early bans on Reyna, and as Reyna is still available, Hazo immediately drops the button here, so it's like, okay, first pick for us. Now there were a couple of additional tanks, of course, that got eliminated too, so that's something that we have to watch out for as well. Not really an issue yet, but could become one in later stages. You still can play with Johanna here, you still have Muradin available. We have actually with Tyrael another good tank for this. Imperius is still around too. So at this point we still have options. And Lauber goes straight into Jojo for the wave clear. And there's the rat. Alright. We get the Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Junkrat in the game. That's kind of expected. I mean, first of all, the hero itself is of course great with the displacement, and you also have the option to just simply shoot the grenades in from outside of the shrine and get a couple of additional minions, even if you don't control the position on the shrine itself. Here comes Leo, Mr. Swiffer, all shall Swiffer. And Probius! Monkey gets Probius here. Okay, they already played that once in a previous series. I think it was against Team Russia on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And they lost that one. But you can argue that there was a good chance of them winning it. So let's see how this is going to work out. Keep in mind that a lot of these heroes that you will see are actually not going to be played because there's a lack of other heroes, but because a lot of the counters to the heroes are banned out. Genji, Maiev, Tracer, all those pesky Overwatch heroes in particular that are just so good at darting into a backline and taking someone out are great counters against low HP units. So now Muradin banned out, eliminating the options a little bit more on the tank line, as we've been saying, as we've kept saying. No dwarf now, but what's the next ban? From Washed Out. What do you ban here? Offlane, yeah, Thrall. The ban on Thrall, and yep, marking that as well down in our little cheat sheet here, which the players also use to keep track of what's banned and what's still available. Wanna see that? And there's Falstad. This is probably for me the biggest one that Meta Madness brought Falstad back. And we had a lot of Hinterland Blast, by the way. We had a lot of Hinterland Blast.
Fight to my last breath.
Rhaegar is being played now. I don't really believe that Tai is actually playing Rhaegar. I'm pretty sure that the swap round is going to bring a couple of changes for this one. Probably, I would say, well, Henning should be Rhaegar. Probably we're going to have Falstad played by Tai, Svampgrota on Junkrat, and the last pick should be Furia on the offlane. Last pick for Infernal Shrines for Washed Out. Oh, Arthas, okay. Main tank Arthas. Shrine Control. And Deckard Cain for Smexy. Alrighty. Last pick. Offlane still needed. Blaze is around. There's a lot around, actually. Uriel got banned. Blaze is still available. There's a lot more than that, actually. Thrall is also taken out. Could play Malthael if you wanted to. Maybe not with this setup necessarily. But yeah. Yeah, they still do it. Alright. See Malthael actually with a lot of snipe combos where you try to get the early damage in. With Greymane he was actually played a lot. Trying to get a stun set up, Curse Bullet in, a little bit of damage with Li Ming for example, and then the Malthael last rites. So they go for it. And ladies and gentlemen, it brings us into game number 2 with Granit Gaming going up against Washed Out. Game number 2, and we have a bit of a surprise when it comes to roles on the side of Granit Gaming. But let's talk about Washed Out first. The blue team down in the series with Smexy on Deckard Cain, Kronos on Leoric, Monkey on Probius. We have Hazops on Reyna again, and Billy on Arthas. Yeah, this time with Arthas in the mix, and Leo and Deckard on this map. Ace in the hole, obviously the choice. Lauban Johanna, Svampgrota as expected on Junkrat. We have Henning on Rhaegar, but we have a swap between the offlane and the range damage. Malthael played by Tai this time, and Fury on Falstad. Very, very interesting adjustment that we're seeing here. Definitely something that I didn't see coming. Can't remember seeing Tai on an offlaner like ever. So let's see how that's going to work out for them. It's definitely a new one, at least for me. So let's see. Also, not only Tai, let's see how Fury is going to do on the Falstad. It's both of them at this point. But yeah, so with this said, we're actually having on level 1 the fealty onto death here. Malthael, interestingly enough, at the bot lane right now. That's where Tai is sitting. And it looks... okay, this is starting to become an interesting setup, because we're actually still seeing Fury play the offlane. He's just not playing an offlaner. He plays Falstad, Bird's the word, and we have Tai part of the 4-man here for the time being. Not really the normal setup that you see there. So that is an interesting adjustment that they're making, and I'm actually very interested to see how that is working out for them later on. Now, of course, he has the ability to go for the camps here, which he already does. We see a similar setup to the left. We also have Monkey currently with Probius in the 4-man, as Leoric has taken the solo lane. So it's definitely a couple of adjustments in the way that the map is approached. Falstad obviously has the global as well that he can utilize later to just join these fights. But this is an interesting setup, and it could definitely yield a couple of kills there later on too if they play their cards right. I mean, Fury can literally just fly down, try to make a play there. If you have the Bird on the other hand in the 4-man, then you can go into... well, it depends a little bit on how you want to play. For now they're playing Wingman because they want to control the camps. They want to also try and steal the Shaman camp away from their opponent. But if you have Falstad, for example, in the rotation between mid and bot lane, then you can go into Seasoned Marksman. You will stack that very, very quickly. Then you always have the option of flying onto the top lane and turning that into a 2-for-1 and try and get a quick kill there with a good gank setup. But they decided against that. They want to control the mercenary camp, so they go for a wingman build, and they still have with Falstad now the option at the top side to fly down and help out whenever need be. The build on the side of Monkey, by the way, I mean, as much as we are seeing Probius being played, we have in this case now the Warp Resonance by him, so a bit of a Warp Rift focus on the level 1, but with the Shield Capacitator on level 4. So it's already wondering a little bit about survivability here right now, which is probably quite fair. You have Junkrat against you, you have Falstad that can fly in and surprise you maybe, and you also have to deal with Malthael. So of course one of the biggest problems that Probius has in general, hit points. Hit point pool on the hero is usually not really the best. Teams are now both with the first Shrine activating, or the first Shrine spotting in the mid lane, going for their own camp here. And that's also a nice timing here. So Tai takes this a little bit later than we've seen on the other side, which means that these are going to move a bit farther out towards the wall here, allows Fury to defend it, and then the camp to get value. So that's why that timing difference is going to be really important between the two of them there. Azov's is going to get a lot of value with Reyna. There's a reason Reyna gets first pick in this setup right now. With the heroes that are already banned in, Reyna is one of the best heroes by far. Very safe, amazing damage output for him, good zone control too. And he's currently very, very effective, especially with the Frozen Tempest from Billy coming in, with all of the slows that we're seeing there. So that 15% extra damage are absolutely insane. And comes against Mexi as he's trying to use his hero to zone out everybody. It's one of the great assets of Deckard Cain, that he can control space this well. That's what they're doing here. Once again, the seal, and it nearly drops Svemgrotta as it locks him in for Jimmy to get the damage in, but everybody's starting to fall super low here. Not only the red team, still a lead for them, and they secure the Punisher. Arcane Punisher at that too. Got a close, was a close call for quite a bit. But then Granit Gaming still is able to get it. So with that said, we're having now on level 7 also the Touch of Death. Making this a little bit harder to get the heals out then. Still a rotation on the map. I mean, you look at the minimap right now and you don't see that traditional push through the mid lane with the Arcane Punisher. Instead it gets baited over and very quickly taken apart because we're still having heroes on all the other lanes here. Monkey is trying to juke out against all of those grenades that we're seeing from Junkrat. Doesn't quite work out for him. Went into the tower defense on level 7 now. Okay. It's not really the build that I expected from him. We had a couple of Probius plays just recently where we saw more of a walk riff focus than we're seeing from him here. It was more about space control and trying to get slows in, for example. So that can really be a nuisance if you are doing that on a map that has a lot of small areas. Not necessarily. I mean, for here it might be good when you play that around the shrines. But besides that, we're having the blessed momentum for Johanna. We didn't see a kill yet, by the way. Fallside is still doing his thing topside. And again, Fury later on is going to try and use the Wingman to steal that Shaman Camp away. Nice lockdown here against Svamgrotta. The follow-up from Smexy is there, and that's the kill right here. That's the kill. Hazu gets it, is able to connect with the final shot there. Level 7 Talon on Arthur's obviously also going to be the Icebound Fortitude. See very few adjustments there. If you play him on the solo lane, it's a little bit of a different story. Then Rune Tap can actually be quite nice for you. But if you play a main tanked Arthur's, then you will very rarely see him go for anything else but Icebound Fortitude. It's a fantastic talent when you have to deal with burst damage, especially if you're thinking about a tie in the last rights later on. Monkey already gets a bit murdered here. This is exactly one of the reasons why Monkey started to go into a defensive build with, for example, his level 4 talent. Because he simply said, guys, I have such a low hit point pool. As long as they don't focus me, I'm fine and I can really contribute, I can do work. But I am still one of the primary targets for opponents because I have such a low hit point pool. The earlier level 10 on the side of Granit. Ah, no, false dead. Look at that. Gust instead of the Hinterland Blast. I was so used to seeing Shock and Awe again. I was really looking forward to that. The good old times in Alpha and Beta when the ult was still called Shock and Awe and Falstad's second heroic ability. What was it? Aerial Bombardment, I think. Totally useless. Total trash. But yeah. Shock and Awe was always a lot of fun. It was always a good one. The crispy taco back then. Tyrael Judgment straight into a precision strike from Nova. And the Shock and Awe from Falstad. Never forget. Rip. Ah well, Billy also is nearly ripping here. Rest in pieces, my friend. No, that was... I'm not quite sure if that was a good or a bad play. Fury with a gust. I guess nobody on their end dies because of it, but Arthur survives. The Riptire is looking for Monkey. There's a little bit of... is it me or did we just see a couple of very random heroic abilities being used there? I mean, it was a very, very chaotic skirmish that we saw. It looked like Arthur's for a long time was about to fall and then he gets just like blown away. But again, to be fair, we had on the Granit Gaming side also a fair amount of heroes going pretty low. Now we have, of course, another objective on the map. Already going straight in. There we have it, yep. 13 against 4. Big lead for Granit Gaming. Again, they have not only the rat, but they also have the lightning shield. Plus, in addition to that, they have Johanna. So they have a huge amount of clear that they can use here. And they're doing exactly that. And here comes the Blessed Shield as they're trying to make the play. The bird is flying in. Ancestral had to be used. Iron Skin helps to get away from the Tornado. Billy gets pushed in. Still easily alive though. But we're having Washed Out starting to take the lead in the minion stacks. They're doing really well here. The kill against Leoric won't matter if they are able to claim the objective, and so far it looks like they might be able to. 34 against 25. Oh, Tai is so low, but he drops Hazu before he himself falls, and Monkey is about to drop as well. Down goes Monkey. That's Probius dead. That's a triple kill. They go for Billy. They're gonna wipe them. Not only do they get the Punisher, they're gonna go for the team wipe here. Unbelievable. It looked just for so long as if Tai would get murdered, but instead we're now having the entire team wipe. We have the Punisher at the bot lane, and that fight turned against Washed Out, and now they are in a world of pain. 5 kills against 1, a stack for Malthael on the last rides. And they are going straight for the bot lane. They have heroes still in the middle and the top to soak the experience and push the lanes out. Probius is trying to react to force that top side, but that's of course a massive, massive lead. Earth Shield on Rhaegar as a level 13. We're currently seeing the Burning, the Holy Fury taken. We have the Inevitable End. The fort at the bottom is down. They're concentrating on the camps again. Great, great setup here for Granit Gaming. That fight looked really, really spicy. I mean, first of all, we had the massive lead for Washed Out in the minion stacks. Then it looks like we're going... the hit point on Probius is just a problem. Fury with a kill. Moves immediately back as Kronos already going in, but Fury gets a solo kill against Monkey here. But yeah, as I said, the beginning looked great. They were ahead in the stacks, and then it looks like Tai might fall against Hazu Ops, but the he nearly gets a double kill. He's flying. He's actually flying. Fury! Oh my god. Oh my god. What a god. What an absolute god. He gets the double kill and he gets away. Oh, that was crazy. I didn't know that Fury is a rocket scientist, but this looked calculated. Not even close. Also about not even close. Reyna goes down too. Damn, Granit Gaming is just murdering people. Kronos is... Wait, what? Okay, that was a successful suicide if I've ever seen one. He just ran into 4 heroes and dropped an Entomb. I mean, yeah, clap, you got the Entomb connected. The problem is you were all alone. So I'm not sure who he just trapped. Did he trap the heroes that were in the Entomb, or did he trap himself? I mean, either way, he gets trade value. You can call that a win, I guess. But damn, that game took a couple of interesting turns here. By the way, correction as well. False stat, of course, it was not the aerial bombardment, it was the aerial blitzkrieg. Me being German, I should have known that. It's the one that's closest to home here, even though it hurts. But yeah, Fury currently trying to execute that little blitzkrieg here on the top lane. He's killing nearly everybody that is being sent against him. With a 3-level lead, he can of course also rely on a stats advantage. That helps too. Talking stats, 2 stacks at this point for last rights on Malthael. So he's gonna get his 10-second cooldown reduction. And boy are they looking good right now. They are looking really, really good at this point. And that's a shrine topside. Fountain is still there. You still can rely on the fountain. To be honest with you, if you... Okay, that is last right stack number 3, and that's also a death at the wrong moment in time. I was just about to say, if you're honest about it, the level 16 talent will be ready for the shrine, so it's not really too bad of a spot to start a comeback from, even though they're behind. But as it turns out, with Probius dying now as well, it starts to become a little bit more questionable that they can do something about it. Because now the fountain is also gone. Malthael is dead on the other hand. Okay, random kills all over the place. It's starting to become a fiesta. We have level 16, Malthael down for 40 seconds, and that's the game changer. If there was anything that they could do to come back into this, this was it. That is a nice entomb to stop Lauba a little bit longer. And Lauba actually doesn't have Iron Skin anymore. Lauba has no Iron Skin any longer. Oh, and he gets not Henning. The balls on Henning to not drop the Ancestral until now. And they're getting Leorki, aren't they? Yep, Kronos goes down. This game is just getting crazy. 23 stacks. Yeah, actually, by the time that Malthael is back in the fight, Leo's going to be back too. So it's a 4 versus 4 now, and we will be a 5 versus 5 just in time. They're still fighting for Lauba here. Ancestral, as you could already see, is on cooldown, was just used to save him. He still has the Unstoppable there. Smexy, the old man! He is still pretty agile for such an old geezer. Look at Smexy. That guy did definitely do his workout. He did his burpees throughout all his life. Still able to move away here. Entomb is back ready. 5 versus 5 now on the map as there. Starts going for it here. Lauba is low. Well, scratch that. Lauba is dead. Last Rites takes down Arthas. And Kronos survives. But they don't have a fountain. They can't tap at the fountain any longer. 16 stacks against 18. They might have to move away from this one. Falstad is flying in. The big boy Gust, and Hazu is down. Fury with their plays today. Damn, someone had some cereals. This guy definitely had his oatmeal this morning. Look at Fury. He had a runtime berry drink if I've ever seen one. Damn. That kid is actually murdering peeps right now. They're nearly on level 20. We have currently on Falstad 42,000 damage, 43,000 on Junkrat. They get the Mortar Punish and they're moving straight to the top. This is getting, honestly, a bit nuts here. It was great plays that we had the entire time from Fury. I mean, not only the double kill that he got at the top lane, but now also a great flight. And also connecting the Gust on all three. It was actually important. They could have backfired, honestly, if they turned quickly and he doesn't catch all of them. But he did. You know, they're making the play for the keep here towards the top. Look also at Ty. 4 stacks on the last rights. It's a 20-second cooldown reduction. He already has it ready again. It's a 5 versus 5 once more. Actually, it's a 5 versus 4 because Johanna isn't here yet for a little bit longer. Kronos needs to be super careful or he's just going to deliver another stack of last rights into Ty's hands and reduce that cooldown even more. They want to keep us down, but of course they can still defend against the Punisher. Now they have to catch up in experience. Without the Storm Tolerance on their hands, they have to give up the map. They have to wait. They have to catch the experience and just wait to make sure that they get level 20 themselves. But the kill count, 14 against 3. 14 kills against 3. Let me have a bit of a look at the stats here as well. I mean, we have still a lot of siege damage on the side of Monkey. Sitting at 115,000 with Probius, 23,000 hero damage. It's actually Jimmy again that has the most work. Kronos. The B steps. Lauba is having some fun here. Lauba and Kronos with the double B steps. Oh yeah, I gotta give Lauba an A there. Some quick B steps that we saw. Keep already halfway down. They won't be able to defend this one. Not without 20. There's already an entire camp pushing onto the top lane keep. There's the blessed shield. And the kill. 5 stacks for Ty. The cooldown is down to 35 seconds at this point. 35-second cooldown on the last rights. Billy is on the run, gets slowed and taken down. The bird with the kill. Hazops falls too. This should be game. The core shield is already falling. What a fantastic performance here. Fury with Wind Tunnel. I mean, I'm tired. I'm looking. Who is he going for? But yeah, Wind Tunnel is there. And that is the end. A 2-0 lead for Granit Gaming against Washed Out. GG and well played. Great performance here by them on Infernal Shrines as we're heading into game number 3 of the best of 5. Game number 3! Maybe even the last one of the series. I certainly hope not. We want to see a couple more games out of this one. But it was so far a strong performance from Granit Gaming. They're going to try and crown that with a flawless victory against Washed Out. Towers of Doom is the map. We have a... okay, Medivh gets banned out. Could definitely talk about him, but there's another hero that I want to mention. Dehaka. Globals. Falstad, Dehaka. Definitely heroes that could play a role here. Samuro obviously has already been banned in game number 1, so that's kind of important as we're heading into our third map, since he is pretty much a hero that you oftentimes see there. I wonder if we could see Vikings. Vikings were actually... First of all, we get the Reyna ban in, because they're realizing this is a little bit too silly. That guy is just way too strong, even though, of course, Washed Out lost the last map. But the Hazorb special still centers around the Lost Vikings, and every now and then you get to see that. Towers of Doom is one of the potential maps where you could play that, Cursed Hollow being another one. So... is Granit Gaming gonna let the Vikings through? And is Hazor gonna pick it? That's the question. Junkrat gets banned out. That shouldn't surprise anyone that watched the remaining Meta Madness plays. And... sad panda moment. Vikings actually get banned out. You know fun, Granit Gaming. Why you want to win? That leaves us with the first pick here for Washed Out. I actually have to adjust a little bit. Like, what do we still have? What do we want at this point? Alright, Dehaka. Again, as I said, Dehaka is definitely going to be a staple with a global here. Could see Falster on the other side again to have the global for each side. There's even a chance that Washed Out, for example, A could ban Falster or could simply say, hey, double global, let's go, and pick some for themselves to play the map and just macro it a little bit more. We're going into team fights here. Rhaegar for Henning and Imperius again. Yeah, Lauber on Imperius worked well in game number 1. We have Rhaegar for Henning 2. I mean, one of Henning's go-tos is Tyrande, but Tyrande is banned out because she's globally banned for the entire tournament. We have Monkey's hero. We still need... I mean, for Smexy with the support is going to be interesting. I guess Billy still has a couple of good tanks at the front. We could still see a Tyrael. Nice. We could still see a Tyrael and Blaze setup. Actually, no, scratch the Blaze. We have already Dehaka on the board. But yeah, still Tyrael for Billy. And we have Lunara. Immediate ban on Oriel. You see Lunara, you ban Oriel. It's an insta-ban right there. It's just like endless energy on that hero. So that was a really good choice to ban that out. Definitely a good reaction from Granit Gaming. It was like, that was pretty much just like, okay, see Lunara, no. But Lunara has already been played by Hazor on this map, and it is still a very annoying poke hero. Again, one of the reasons why we see some of these heroes picked is just because the natural predators that usually are situated higher in the food chain of Heroes of the Storm are banned. So you can all of a sudden play these guys again. Falstad gets banned, so that there is no global on the other side. Also, after what we've just seen from Fury, I can kind of understand that too, because that wasn't too bad either. Which leads us into the next 2 picks here for Granit Gaming. Let's have a look at that. Damage. Oh, Sylvanas, okay. And Li Ming. Yeah, Li Ming isn't banned yet. Right. Where in this series, Li Ming is still available. Oh, Lucio! Wait, are they gonna do double support Tyrael? Kronos picked Lucio, or is Smexy gonna play damage again? Or are they just gonna swap later? Lucio confirmed, and Greymane. Smexy on Greymane? Alright, let's see how that's working out. There's a lot of lulls on that team. Lulnara, Lulcio. Alright. That's gonna be an interesting one. I could still swap, but Smexy actually played a little bit of damage. I can't picture Smexy on Greymane. Swam Grotta on Arthurs. Alright, Imperius Arthur set up for them. I guess they're... well, I guess Swam Grotta gets a different hero. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the one that plays Sylvanas, so they're going to make a couple of changes. Or is he actually going to stick with it? Either way, it's going to be a fun one. We already have Sylvanas in. We have Lucio and Lunara. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's head into game number 3. Game number 3. Washed Out with 0. And we have Granit Gaming with 2. It's going to be, potentially, the last game of this series. Or is Washed Out going to start the reverse sweep right now. On the left, washed out with Hazrops on Lunara. Smexy on Greymane, still interesting to me to see him on that hero. Billy on Tyrael, Monkey on Dehaka, and Kronos is gonna lull around with Lucio. On the right side of the map though, we're having washed out's opponent, Granit Gaming, with Henning on Rhaegar, Lauba on Imperius, Tai on Liming, Svamkarota, yeah, he's playing Arthas, and Fury on Sylvanas. Okay, so again, a little bit of a swap in the roles here. Talons with Rhyme taken on level 1. And here we go. I like this skin, by the way, a lot for Tyrael. It's one of the best. Like, the wings of that particular skin are absolutely... I love Demonic Tyrael, but the wings on this one are just big. They're absolutely amazing. Laura played a pretty decent game on 1. That was a nice move. This is still one of these things that I really don't see it coming. You know, it's not what you think about. It's not... When you see Imperius lunge, you don't automatically jump to the conclusion that he's able to just transfer terrain with that. If Falset goes for barrel roll, it's a little bit of a different story, but if you lunge with a spear on a rock, you don't expect to go over the rock. You kind of expect to hit the rock. So Imperius, with his angel wings that he has there, is apparently able to just fly over that. I'm gonna give him that, just because it's Imperius. But yeah, it's always interesting to me. It's something that I haven't really gotten used to yet. The level 1 talent for with the Might of the Banshee Queen here for Fury. Tai again with his Li Ming. That setup really worked well for them. I mean, Lauba always with the setup here with the lunge or with the Wrath later on, and then Tai following it up on it was actually incredibly powerful in Battlefield of Eternity for them. So it could work out in this game now too. They're already starting to make a bit of a play here at the bot lane. Good lunge again. Just goes in, drops the damage. Tai is already waiting for it. Both of the teams have gone for the pumpkins. Lunara is still sitting in the middle. And Tarzops already showed yesterday how strong Lunara can be. He might this time actually even be able... Oh, wait a moment. Gets the damage in, gets the slows in, and that's the end of Henning. Henning goes down and even starts to nibble at Lauba here. Whoever said that Bambi was a vegetarian? Definitely carnivore right there. But the one thing that we actually seen yesterday too was that he went into the leaping strike. But yesterday's setup was a little bit different. They faced off against the Thrall with Earthquake and a couple of other engaged heroes. Right now, I could totally see him go into Poke instead on level 10. That is a setup where you can definitely make that play. Now, you still have to deal with, of course, Imperius and Arthas, but I feel you have a few more options here in this setup. Nice dodge as well. Zob's doing really, really well on this, you know. But, let's see. Svamkarota starting to go in on Monkey. Fury is there too. Good lockdown. Hazob's, on the other hand, is really starting to work his own magic. Fury, yeah, he is still eating a bit of damage there, and he's dying too, because Smexy is going in and is showcasing that he knows how to press buttons on Greymane as well. That's a second that they could get here. They're definitely going to get 2 of those. The bottom goes to Granit Gaming as they take one of the altars, but the top left has already been channeled. This one is going to get channeled too. And as Monkey connects the drag, we are going to see Svamkarota die. No fucking way! What? He's on 5 hit points! And the damage tick takes him down to 5 hit points, and before the next damage comes in from the damage over time, he gets the death coil in. You are kidding me! And Svamkarota is going in with a Kappa face. Calculated, boys. There was never any trouble there. Wow! That was something. Svamkarota is sitting there. It's just like, yeah, of course. I mean, I calculated it earlier. Do you think we have only 1 rocket scientist? No, we have 2. Lauba misses the lunge, and, well, Imperius is down. So one of the oh my god, Monkey! Double kill! Monkey missed like every single tongue yesterday when he played Dehaka. I mean, he hit like 1 in the game. That's what it felt like. It's obviously not 100% accurate. I'm exaggerating here. But he definitely didn't connect a lot. Now, all of a sudden, he gets every single one that he's looking 4. That was a bit of a Monka moment though. Krona's like, I can boop him. Do you have your cooldown ready? And Monkey's like, I'm out of rage. I'm gonna turn around here. Not sure if they could have gotten the kill, even if he had it connected. I don't even know if it had the cooldown ready. But as it stands, they still were able to get in total 4 kills against 0 right now. So yeah, pretty solid here. Lauber at this point is going to start to fight over this one. Currently setting that up. This is obviously where especially Dehaka is going to shine, because he can outpush the top lane. Arthas is going to have to make a choice if he rotates around. Uh-oh, Lunara. Hazops is a bit split from the rest of the team as they're coming in. Kronos provides the speed here. It's one of the reasons why you could go into the Thornwood Vines with the Lunara, because Kronos on Lucio can literally just speed you up even more. And he's dancing around the entire time with the interrupts. Greymane is already getting the bottom and is getting the channel through. Smexy connects it. They're fighting over this one here in the middle still, and this is looking really good for Washed Out. It's looking fantastic, to be honest with you. Look at the experience. They're so close to level 10. If that drops now, Smexy's already going for Ty at the side. Might get the kill here. And yep, gets that kill connected. That's kill number 5, and they're still playing over here against Fury. And Fury is in a world of pain. He should fall. He should die. And he does. Billy survives with a shield. Here comes the silence as the isolation hits. That's a triple kill. They're starting to move in. Kronos is already chasing Swarmgrotta here, trying to boop him back. That didn't quite connect, but they still got 3 kills. They still get another altar. They're still moving in to drop also the bottom bell tower. Granit Gaming at this point is just getting hammered into a wall. Washed Out with 7 kills against 0. They're saying, boys, we still in this. Gonna start our comeback right now. Leaping strike still for Hazops, going for the safer place here, not the poke from a distance, but instead just making sure that he's going to be incredibly difficult to kill. And we are seeing an insane statement being made at this point. Very, very well done here. 12,000 damage on Lunara. Hazops working the damage numbers. Of course, to be a bit careful against Lauber still, that still holds true, but Billy also has the Sanctification still ready. Well, actually it does, it's in cooldown. But can use the shield at least to keep them alive a little bit longer. Kronos starting away from this. Lucio is actually providing a lot for the team right now. They're just dancing around them the entire time, and the speed bonus is fantastic to keep up with all of these rotations. And at this point, it doesn't look like Granit Gaming is going to get access to that bell tower anytime soon again. We have a double spawning at the top, altars that is, and that should normally be an even exchange, but at the pace this is going, we might even see a bit of a fight over it if Washed Out is feeling good. Again, connected the bot lane. Hazops with a continuous poke. There's the delivery on the other hand. Yeah, shots are being fired as at least the mercenaries made it in. That's 2 additional points delivered, but the kills. Hazops on the other hand. Oh no, he dies too. It's a 3-for-1 trade, and just now the ult comes back. One already channeled. Did they just channel the second? No, they channeled 1. And that's already points delivered. That's 5 shots fired. And they're actually nearly getting this one too. Monkey is trying to slow them down here. And he does. And that's 5. Even if Monkey dies, that's totally worth it. That's another 5 shots fired. That's 12 shots. 5 from each altar. That's 10. Plus the 2 that came through with the with the mercenaries that they executed in. They lost 3 heroes for it, but hell, I call value. It's 16 against 32 right now, and they still have a level lead. They still have a massive, massive advantage in this game. Washed Out is looking great in this 3rd game. But then again, keep in mind, we had... It's Towers of Doom, right? And we had some insane comebacks yesterday. It was honestly insane. HGC level. And right now we're making the plays again with the 13 Holy Ground being picked and used to secure the camp here. Good job by Sportbilly. Hazops at the side is eating some of the damage. Monkey is about to move in, but Lucio is already dead. So is Tyria. That's a double kill right there. Sanctification got interrupted. Never want to see that happen. Hazops gets the damage in, jumps out. Had, of course, a splintered spear already at the ready. Is low, moves away, and actually survives, but he might not be... There's the double kill against Greymane against Dehaka. Dehaka nearly got the kill against the backline, but all of a sudden the momentum that I just talked about is shifting. You're playing against the Sylvanas. You have to be careful with this. They took the fight in the middle. Nearly need to. Kronos dies immediately. Never had a chance to use his ult even. The interrupts that we saw were fantastic, especially against the Sanctification. Hazops is delivering the pain. But now we have another bell tower taken, and this time it's one of the blue team. I also miscalled, by the way, yesterday after the rework. Wasn't quite familiar with the talents on the side of Lunara there. So greater spell shield and unfair advantage are not on the same level anymore. Unfair advantage got, moved to level 16. So you can still take both. In Hazop's case, it's a question if that's worth it at this point. But yeah, it was a bit of a faux pas yesterday. You don't cast Lunara all this often these days anymore, as you might know. Henning is very far out here, and they want the doggy, and they get the doggy. Down goes Henning, and Lauber is dead as well. First the isolation connects, and then we're also seeing him just completely pushed back by Kronos. Yeah, nicely done. Question, of course, is can they, before they channel, take back a bell tower? They're not even risking it. They're just saying, okay, screw it, we're not going to risk anything here. We're going to take the 3 shots for now, put them down to 13, and then with the help of the minions, we're going to play it from there. Really good game again. 10 kills against 7 right now. Now the advantage definitely goes to Washed Out, but they need to take those bell towers back. It was a bit unfortunate for Granit Gaming to lose the healer this quickly, and it was just Henning getting completely caught there. And once that he got slowed and isolated, there was nothing really they could do. Now with the minion waves taken down here in the middle, of course this one could already push in, and that means that the shots are getting soaked by the minions, so you have an easy time taking that back. Hazops is murdering the damage, by the way. 26,000 top damage in the game right now. Very, very solid damage also on the siege numbers. Not quite as much as we're seeing from Smexy, but still pretty reliable here. Li Ming with only 18,000. Look at Arthas, by the way. Hasn't died yet. The only one that hasn't fallen in the entire game. Swamp Grotta at the top lane most of the time. Not really part of the big team fights just yet. Well, to be fair, he was part of a few. Now that I think about it, he was part of the team fights that they won. Coincidence? I don't think so. 16 any moment now for Washed Out, and with that they should be able to take the bottom. Yeah, but Arthas is moving in again. 16 talents are there. Okay, he moves out again. Kind of want to take this before the shrines activate. This is a triple altar phase. If you get that, that's great. There's the unfair advantage on 16. Rejuvenescencia taken as well from Lucio, but they're giving up on the bottom bell tower for now. 10 more seconds. But they're ready for the fight. As it turns out, Granit Gaming will have level 16 talents just in time as well. Good zone out here, by the way. Billy is saying na 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 na. But unfortunately, the altar wasn't ready yet, so you couldn't really go for the channel. There's the sanctification. Cheesing it. Look at that. Getting sneaky. Nicely done. Now, I don't know why Monkey burrowed in there, but yeah, now they are forcing for a fight. Misses the isolation. Has the silence from the Wailing Arrow. Lunara is down. Tyrael is down, and I have no idea what just happened there. So they get an exchange, a 1-for-1 at the top altars, top left, top right. Then they cheese the bell tower down, or the altar down here, by starting the channel and dropping the sanctification. And then Monkey burrows into the backline with sanctification off cooldown, forces the team back in, and they get murdered from the Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas, which, yeah, pretty much silences especially Hazops, who can't jump out anymore. So from putting your opponent to 5 points on the core, as you can see here, we went to experience lead for Granit Gaming, them retaking a bell tower, and Kronos suiciding together with Smexy? What is happening here? What? Washed Out is just throwing this away right now. 28 points against 5, but guys, if you lose the momentum on this map, you are in trouble. So boss isn't taken because they got the kills and they're going for the bot lane now. Hazops is trying to reclaim that as quickly as he can. And the game isn't over by any means. It's still a massive lead for Washed Out, outside of the experience lead that we see for Granit Gaming. But boy, is this getting awkward. This reminds me a lot of what we've seen yesterday. At the top side, we actually see the boss started. Well, there's the Wisp coming in for the vision. Still Fury channeling the bot lane, letting the boss go now too. Can't sneak that in either. That's 5 shots fired, puts the core down to 23 against 5. Monkey gets the drag, and the Kronos, the ult, that doesn't connect, and that's a cooldown burned, and a dead Dehaka. And now the boss is open again. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Billy is... No! Billy with the attempt to cheese it! Oh, that would have been gold if he dies, but he gets the 4 shots because of the holy ground. Billy is trying to cheese it, but he dies too. They are absolutely feeding them one kill after another right now. It's literally them sitting there and just getting one kill staggered after another. And now they're losing the control over all of this. The bottom bell tower has been reclaimed, so at least that's a saving grace right there. But they're losing the one in the middle. Have to recapture that. With Sylvanas just disabling those structures, they're rotating, they're going to take more. And they are hitting level 20 any moment. Guys, this went from it's an easy victory for Washed Outs to Granit Gaming, can you still lose it? So they're recapturing this one. Or at least they're trying to. Hazops is sitting there. Bottom has been taken. By the way, we have a bit of an invade here to keep that safe. But this is getting awkward as hell right now. This is getting really, really awkward. That's a bell tower. That's 6 shots fired if you get it at this point. Monkey seriously needs to get Google Maps, because he's getting lost a lot right now on this map. I mean, he is... I'm not quite sure what the thought was there. They get the bell tower back, but now for another 50 seconds, he's down. So let's have another quick look here at the death count. 4 times. I think the last 3 were in the last couple of seconds. Now it's 14 points against 5. They're still waiting for level 20. They're still waiting for the level 20 talent. It's only 1 bell tower that you're missing, so it's not the end of the world yet, but you literally brought Granit Gaming back into a position where they can win the game again. Having on level 20, the Valorous Pursuit right now taken. So with that, also we're seeing the Withering Barrage here as well. And they're trying to get a kill again. Oh, Lauber! Lauber gets actually isolated. Nice play by Billy. But you need to make sure that you don't lose someone here. That's a lot of pumpkins on the other hand. Uh-oh. 3 shots fired, and that's 6. 8 against 5. 8 against 5, just as we have level 20. I don't know, guys. I feel we didn't need to be in this spot. Can Washed Out get their shit together? That's the big question right now. And Granit Gaming, of course, has a lot of momentum. I mean, even though it's dead even at this point, they have a lot of momentum. Okay, so nobody can finish with a single altar. Nobody can finish. Hazops. Hazops. Oh, jumps out with Sanctification. They get everything in. Swamgrota keeps alive. The arrow is missed. The Wailing Arrow doesn't connect here, doesn't silence as they're moving out. The Isolation, on the other hand, the Contagion doing work. Hazops with a damage output the entire time, dropping it in once again. And we have a big battle on our hands. Rexa still has his ult ready. Hazu can jump over, does exactly that, joins with the rest of the team, but here comes a lunge. Billy goes down. That's the kill. Can they get a counter kill? In comes Fury, tries to look for the damage. Everybody's low, but the Ancestral keeps Swamgrota in play. Lauber is low though. Lauber is low, gets the Wrath of Ringiris. They go for Swamgrota, and Greymane is dead. So is Monkey. Triple kill, and that's the quad kill, and that is game. That is game. Granit Gaming takes the 3-0 as we have 2 altars channeled and a massive barrage is coming in. Washed Out, they throw the game. Granit Gaming says thank you and takes the flawless victory over Washed Out.